Welcome back. We're looking at some more garden plants today, and I've got 5 exciting flowers and 3 foliages that would grow quite easily in your UK home. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. My name is Sharon. Please subscribe. There's loads of information here about floristry and floral design, and it's an exciting place to be. Now, today's flower combination are a few flowers that are from my own garden and a few flowers that my students here are growing in their garden. So it's a bit of a combination of the two. My first one, and you're probably not going to believe this comes from a UK garden, but the first one is an Alstromeria. And look at this. This one has come from one of my students' gardens. She's also got it in a beautiful shade of cream and a darker red. But this is the one that she was working with yesterday, so I've sort of borrowed one from her. And I was absolutely amazed because I've tried to grow Alstromeria and it wasn't very successful. So I think I'm going to try again next year because that is just fantastic. Some of the varieties she's got, the stems are much shorter, but this was probably the longest one that she had in the box. But isn't that amazing? Fancy growing Alstromeria in your garden. So one to look up for, probably from maybe a specialist or a garden centre, or I've never seen it as a seed, but you never really know. And then in my next door neighbour's garden is Agapanthus. I have Agapanthus in my garden, but they're nowhere near as good as this. And Agapanthus like to be root bound, so don't spread them out, keep them quite compact together. The stem, this was one that she was cutting back because the stems were looking a little poor on them, and I sort of borrowed it when I was chatting to her over the garden wall. But Agapanthus is quite easy to grow in pots or in the garden, so it's worthwhile having a go. And I would suggest again, probably buying them from a specialist supplies, because then you know you're buying a really good root stock and a good plant. But isn't that just fantastic? Absolutely amazing. I think I'm going to have to feed mine now to get them to this size and standard by next year. Another one that I've tried growing but is not particularly successful, and this is from my neighbour's garden as well, is the Gladioli. And I think the problem I have with Gladioli is that I don't stake them and I don't have the patience to make sure they're all supported for the winds we get here in the UK. Comes in a bulb called a Corm. You can quite often pick them up in the lower end priced shops for just a couple of pounds, and they are really amazing in the garden, make a real statement, tall, fill a gap, really fantastic to use. And of course we can use them in floral design, and they come in such a big range of colours. And another one that's quite easy to grow is the Japanese Anemone. Comes in again a load of different colours. I've got this in pale pink and this beautiful mauvey sort of purple. Quite tall, quite majestic, really works well in tall arrangements like pedestals, looks great in country style arrangements as well as parallels. Fantastic value for money because it does spread. Can be a bit troublesome because you get the root system under the ground and it tends to pop up all over the place, but well managed. You've got a nice display of flowers. And then I'm finishing the flower selection with a really dainty flower. These have nearly finished in my garden, which is why I've only got short ones left. Earlier in the summer they're quite tall, and this is Scabious, and I've just bought some seeds of a more rounded head which I'm hoping to get growing by next year. Fantastic in foam as long as they're well conditioned. They look great in bridal bouquets and will give you that nice country look. And this is quite a compact flower, so it works well at the front of the border or on the side of a path. And this has been flowering probably since the beginning of July, so it's quite good value for money. Beautiful little Scabious, and I've already collected seeds from this, and I'm hoping to be able to get it to grow in different parts of the garden. Now I've got some big greeneries today, or greenery that has come from a big tree, and the first one is Eucaluptus. And I didn't think I'd be able to grow eucalyptus in the garden, but I bought a little plant. I did buy it from the florist supplies. I bought a plant that was maybe 5 foot, 4 to 5 foot. It was delivered with my flowers. I planted it in the garden and it's now maybe 30 foot tall. We're going to have to lop the top off it soon because it's getting too big. But most eucalyptus will grow in the UK if you've got the right soil types. Another of my favourites, purely for the colour, is the conifer. Now this one has that beautiful, I was going to say golden scent to it, but I meant to say a beautiful lemon scent. This one has Cyprus Goldcrest, and I bought this probably about that size in, I think it was Lidl or Aldi. It was about that size in a pot. It's now about 6 or 7 foot tall, and I tend to cut pieces off it from the back, and then you can't tell it's been chopped about. But it's so textural. The colour is amazing. It works really well in contemporary floral design and modern floral design, and very versatile. Pick one of those up if you see it. They're quite often in Tesco, and it's good value for money. It doesn't grow fast like a leilandi, but fast enough for you to be able to cut from it. And I'm finishing with Cotinus, coggygria, and you can always tell if it's a florist because we know our Latin names for plants. This is commonly known as the smoke bush, and you could use it either way. You could either use it so that you get that grey tone on the back, or you can use it so that you've got that burgundy colour. You can use it short in clump form, or you can use it individually like this in arrangements, as long as it's in the floral foam. They don't last well in buttonholes or wired up or anything like that, but isn't that just amazing? How fantastic is that? And there are some of my neighbours allow me to cut greenery, and this is from my neighbour's garden. And when you get the flower on it, the seed head, it looks like smoke all rising from the bush, which is where it gets its common name, the smoke bush plant. If you're a florist, you can also buy this from the florist supplies, but it's a really good handy one to have in the garden. And scale wise, you could use this in very big floral designs, so great for church arrangements, and versatile enough that you could use it cut down small in basic floral designs as well. So that's another set of flowers from the garden. I've probably exhausted most flowers for August. If there's anything that you've got growing in your garden and that you're not sure exactly what it is, you can always send me a photo. Please subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell to be told every time I upload a new video, and ask as many questions as you want in the comment box. I love helping everybody learn and grow and understand floral design. And I'll see you next time for another video on plants to grow in your garden. See you soon, and goodbye for now.